So far here in 2024, we've had a bunch of new release designer and introductory niche fragrances that have come out, and a lot of them, to be honest, have been very underwhelming. With that said, I usually do a first impression and then a full review of each new release that comes out. Usually the full review comes out about 7 to 10 days after. Well, I have 3 fragrances here that really, with the first impression, I was very underwhelmed by them. So I'm doing kind of like a full review compilation so that you guys don't have to be bored by 3 more videos of me talking about these fragrances. With that said, we're going to be doing my full review on Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, Valentino's Born in Roma Green Stravaganza, and Kilian's Born to be Unforgettable. I did my first impressions if you guys want to go see that. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another full review on a brand new release, or in this case, a collaboration of releases, or conglomeration of releases that came out here in early 2024. They might have came out in Europe in like late 2023, but most of these came out 2024, January, February. With that said, again, there's probably been about 20 new releases already. I've got my hands on a lot of the decants and a few of the full bottles of the new releases that came out. And outside of like Boss Scent Elixir, that one is the one that kind of stands above the rest. Then below that is probably YSL Y Elixir or L'Elixir. And then probably right below that is Bad Boy Cobalt Elixir. But for the most part, the fragrances so far this year have been quite underwhelming. And here's looking forward to the rest of the ones that come out. But before we get into these full reviews, make sure that if you haven't already, you subscribe to my channel. If you like my content, comment below. Let me know what you think of these 3 releases. And then again, smash that like button. I almost forgot what I was going to say. With that said, let's start out with this one. It's Valentino's Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. I ordered this like a while ago, and it took a while to get into me. I ordered it from Canada whenever it wasn't available. It's still not available in most North American stores, so you can find it online at Valentino's website. But with that said, is it really worth it? No. Unless, like, for some reason you want to collect the entire line. Of the entire line, this is the worst, I should say, because I didn't want to say the worst because it's not a bad fragrance. It's just kind of like a subpar fragrance. With that said, the rest of the line, the original and the intense are my favorites. The original is kind of like that salty mineralic with a slight touch of bubblegum texture to it. Then you have the Coral Fantasy, which is kind of like a red apple, like a candied red apple throughout the whole fragrance with a touch of tobacco and vanilla and spices. I know a lot of people really like that. I'm okay with it. It's one I sold because I like Yellow Dream better, and they're used for the same situation. Yellow Dream is kind of like a pineapple creamsicle or a pineapple upside down cake with a little bit of this gingerbread nutmeg spice and some sandalwood in the dry down. Then we get to the Intense, which is kind of like a mix of all of them put together. It has a little bit of that salty bubblegum vibe. It has some of that vanilla in there, a little bit of the fruitiness. I like that one. It's a very easy wear fragrance, so I do have that. And then Rock Stud Noir came out last year. I didn't try that. I heard it was really bad. So anyway, Green Stravaganza. As far as the notes are concerned, we have bergamot, coffee, and vetiver. It's a citrus aromatic, slight coffee fragrance. And to be fair, it's just boring from the opening until the dry down. There's nothing bad about it. There's just nothing good about it. It's just nothing great about it. It is legit one of the most boring fragrances that I've ever smelled in my entire life. It is a slight touch of green, but really not at all what you would think from Green Stravaganza. It'd be super green. But it has a little bit of this sweet coffee undertone, a little bit of an earthy vibe to it, a little bit of that Valentino Uomo DNA, Born in Roma DNA. And then it's kind of just like an earthy kind of vetiver with a little bit of an aromatic tone and then a slight citrus from in the opening. And then you get a little bit of the coffee underneath that just stays there through the whole fragrance, and it's really not very noticeable after about 20 minutes. You get a little bit of woods and spice, but I'm not even going to talk much more about it. It lasts about 6 hours, and I wore it 4 times, and every single time I really didn't want to wear it. And so the last time I wore it, I had to wear it until it was done, because every other time I was so bored that I needed to spray something else on and wash it off. So I talked to my wife and I let her try it out, and you know what she said? She goes, meh. And I said to her, you know what? That should have actually been what it was called. Valentino, born in Roma, green Stravaganza, meh. Instead of Stravaganza, it's Stravaganza, meh. And honestly, it's whatever. It's like a 6.5 to a 7. It's really nothing. I honestly don't care to talk about it much more. It's a very boring fragrance. If you like it, you like it. Everybody has different senses, but for me, it is one of the, if not the most boring fragrance of the last few years that I have actually tried, and that is including the Eternities and stuff like that. It's just super boring, and I was upset by that because the bottle looks cool, and the rest of the bottles in the line, I've always liked the bottles. They have like this like Italian architecture look to them. I've always liked them, but anyway, moving into the next one. This is Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. This is another one. It's a good fragrance, but it's not worth Tom Ford private blend prices. I mean, it's maybe $120 to $130 fragrance at its core at max, because there is nothing special and unique about it. And it's called Vanilla Sex, but it should be called Almond Sex. I mean, honestly, it's almond heavy for the first like 45 minutes to an hour. It smells almost like if you mixed together like a bunch of almonds into a bowl and then poured like baking vanilla. You know, the vanilla that you use, like pure vanilla extract. It smells like pure vanilla extract mixed together with a ton of almonds. And then after about 45 minutes, it is vanilla extract mixed together with a little bit of this sandalwoody and a little bit of floral. But that is the fragrance at its core. I don't need to say much. I mean, I think the notes in this fragrance, I didn't look them up, but if I had to take a guess, it's like probably like 4 or 5 different types of vanilla. It just smells like vanilla extract. Almond, and then some kind of floral and sandalwood. There might be tonka or something else in it, or some kind of benzoin or something, but for the most part, it legit just smells like if you've ever had one of those almond cakes. It smells like that with a higher dose of vanilla in the dry down. But like I said, it smells like if you had almonds in a bowl all crushed up and to the point where you can smell them, mixed together with a little bit of almond, with a vanilla extract. I said in my original video, it smells like almond extract mixed together with vanilla extract. It's what it really smells like. And would you pay that much money for it? No. It's unisex leaning feminine, but it's right in the middle of unisex. It's just, I mean, for a gourmand, it's not bad. I would say this is like a 7 to a 7.2. It's just for the price of $300 and some, which I understand after a while you'll be able to get it for probably $200. You still shouldn't buy this. It just smells like, I mean, if you like that smell, great. It's a lot of almond mixed together with a lot of vanilla. And both of them smell like they're extracts. Extract. With that said, it lasts about 6 to 7 hours, just like the other one that I just talked about. For the first 2 hours, it performs pretty nicely. I mean, it pushes out to the point where the almond comes off a bit strong for the first like hour to 2 hours. I would say it's above average. And then after that, it sits closer to the skin once it's more of that vanilla sandalwood mix with a slight bit of floral. The floral is just kind of like an undertone nuance, but once you get to that point, it's about moderate, and then after 4 hours, it's more of like a half a foot off the skin, and then for the last hour, it's more of a skin scent. But I mean, it's not bad. It smells nice, but it smells like something that you would want to eat, which is a gourmand, and I understand that. It's just this one's a little bit too far on that side, if you know what I mean. And the almond comes off a bit astringent for me, but maybe if that almond was a little bit better in the opening, it'd be a higher score, but the dry down's very nice. I would say the dry down's probably like an 8. The vanilla sandalwood mixture is, I mean, it smells like vanilla extract. You can't really go wrong with vanilla extract. With what does sandalwood do? Sandalwood's kind of like this creamy, warm woods just mixed together with that. It's kind of just adding a little bit of a creaminess to that already creamy vanilla extract. So yeah, and that is Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. The last one is the one that I was the most positive about in the first review of it, outside of the fact that it leans feminine. And this is the one from Kilian's Born to Be Unforgettable. I first tried it whenever I was in Sephora, and then I got a decant that I was already on the way. I got it for free with my Initio Narcotic Delight decant, and I tried it out, and the opening's actually really nice. It's like a lime Coke. It's an effervescent, citrus, limey Coke that has this fizzy, like Coca-Cola-like vibe. I mean, when you say Coca-Cola, a lot of fragrances that have that kind of pop or Coke or whatever in it doesn't really come off like a Coke. This one actually smells like Coca-Cola mixed together with lime. And there is a lime Coke out there. It kind of smells like that, but for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then the Coke, the fizziness from it kind of stays while the Coke vibe kind of fades away, and that lime sticks for about an hour, which is kind of nice. And then it becomes more of just like a spicy, woody, slight citrus fragrance. In the opening, it does lean slightly feminine, but as I wore it, I kind of dig the fragrance. My wife doesn't like it very much. She said it's okay, but she honestly isn't the best judge when it comes to fragrances. She's pretty basic when it comes to fragrances. You guys will see that once I finally get her on my channel, which apparently is happening very soon, but she said that a year ago, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, Kilian's Born to Be Unforgettable. I have the notes here, so I'll just read them off to you. Lime, cola, nutmeg, cinnamon, cedar, and vanilla. Yeah, it's kind of, again, in the opening, like a lime Coke, and then it's kind of like a warm, spicy, woody fragrance when you get to the dry down. The cinnamon's not too prominent. The nutmeg's not too prominent. They do come in at some point in time, which is around 45 minutes when it becomes apparent that they're there. But they come and then they kind of wane underneath the woods. And then it's kind of, again, like a woody, spicy fragrance. And that's where it becomes more unisex, slightly leaning masculine, but this is more for women, I would say, overall, which is probably why my wife didn't like it on me. But I think the fragrance, out of all of these, this is the best one. I would say this is like a 7.8 to an 8. Kilian really doesn't miss. One of my favorite fragrances from them, obviously, we have Apple Brandy on the Rocks. We have Kilian Angel Share, which is like my king of fragrances. Love that stuff. They have Kilian Intoxicated, which is amazing. Smoking Hot came out last year. They really don't miss when it comes to fragrances. And if they do, it's like kind of they miss in the average realm, which is kind of like a 7 to a 7.5. This is a little bit above that. If it was a little bit more masculine, I would say that I'd give it probably like an 8 to an 8.5. But this is around a 7.8 to an 8. I think that Kilian's Born to Be Unforgettable. At first I said it was forgettable, and it still kind of is. I won't remember it next year. But if somebody offered me a bottle of this for like $100, would I buy it? Yeah, I think I would. I think it smells good enough to wear it on specific occasions. It's more of a fall and winter fragrance, but you could wear it definitely during like a 70-degree night. But just I wear it according to how you're dressing, how you like it. More of a business casual style fragrance. But yeah, it's really nice. If you like lime Coke, you like the opening. The opening is the best part of this fragrance. But the dry down's not bad. It's just kind of basic. Kind of like the theme here. It's just kind of basic across the board. But yeah, those are the three. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. That's why I figured I'd do a conglomeration of videos here. Oh, the Born to Be Unforgettable. That is the worst performing out of all three of these. I get about 5.5 hours. The first 2 hours is about moderate, a little bit above that. Then it kind of just sits down at your skin. And for about 3 hours, it's about 2 inches off your skin, and then it kind of dissipates off your skin altogether. I did get 6 the one time I wore it, but it's around that, 5 to 6, I would say. But yeah, Kilian Born to Be Unforgettable, Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, and then the very unforgettable Valentino Uomo Green Stravaganza. That one, I completely forgot it even existed when I got home from vacation. Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. I can smell this on the decant like 1,000 times. It's just I don't want to wear it. I'll wear it every once in a while, but I won't want to wear it. Like, it's just I sprayed 2 sprays each time, and it was kind of enough for me. But it's one that, I mean, you would want to smell like on a cookie, which is good for a gourmand. If you like that kind of stuff, maybe you'd want to try it out, but get a decant first. And then the Kilian Born to be Unforgettable, you could try it any Sephora, so definitely try that out. So let me know what you guys think of these fragrances, and again, I'll be back with another one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.